Well. Today is actually Saturday, but I did hear something not so wonderful recently. Well, weird thing to say, in New York State, I learned the amount of coronavirus victims are lower than the amount in the Finger Lake region. But Finger Lake regions are open, but the amount lower, so that doesn't make sense to find the amount in New York and within Buffalo and Erie County areas much lower than what is seeing in other parts of New York State. But they say that they're closed, getting that area shut down indefinitely. So what I think happening there is by doing that, I think what happening is they maybe. What I really Doug Ford is doing things right now is he want to sort of, wait the federal government here is saying this, wait till 27th day of May to, not 20th of May, but 27th of June to open the borders. Now, that's about the same time that they start the same time that the two, and if New York State, say the United States won yet, or not part of the state, not ticking two boxes, which there could be very easy ticking there to get stage one. If we got into stage one, why don't they do it too? Why can't they get to stage one over there? That doesn't make sense. So I can figure out one thing. You know what that is? I can figure out one thing that if they get to stage one this week or soon, I got a gut feeling they're going to hit stage one probably in about, by this time next week. They probably get to stage one. When they get to stage one, they're going to get to stage 2 and 3 over there. By the time I get to stage 3, it's going to be on the same time that the borders open up. They finish stage 3. I say by the 27th of June, they just completed stage 3. I say by 27th of June here, we'll be completing, we'll actually we'll finish off stage 3 at the same time. So basically, what they're doing is they're probably going to start soon with stage 1, 2, and 3 over there, and we are stage 1. Think about that one. So, so that's what I'm looking at. So I estimate with the amount of stages going through right now, I can do a rush estimate. By amount of infection within Ontario alone, and the state's process, I say within province of Canada alone, and amount in the United States are way less than what originally reported. But I say that we are gonna get about what I think is I estimate by 27th of June, we've gone through all 3 stages of reopening Ontario. I say by 27th June, Canada, I predict that the amount of coronavirus will be lower than right now, way lower. Numbers can drop so low that it can be pretty unheard of by 27th June almost. I mean, it's gonna fade off the media and all that, and things go pretty much back to normal. But say we'll get through our stages probably by the 27th of June. We'll be through all 3 stages. Boom, things are back, and no new cases. Then other provinces will get through gone through all their 3 states by June 27th. Borders reopen, and I believe that what happened, New York State will gone through theirs by that time. I estimating this by amount of infections occurring. I estimating it, by amount of decrease of infection. Right now, infections up like this. By amount of like this, then amount of decreasing like this. That's what I'm estimating by a current. and I pretty much figured this out. One time I estimated when he's doing with Hubbard go estimated that won't be done until probably about middle of August, sometime mid August. And sure enough, in mid-August it was completed and opened. I'm pretty dead down in my estimate, and tell you that. What it was. Now I'm making an estimate on here on the globe, in Canada and the US, estimating the coronavirus, estimating when will the cases of it drop. I already came on estimated cases will be, I would say by June 27, well, sometime in June, I estimate a virtually unheard of sometime in June, where cases level will drop down to a very low amount to next to none. I estimate that will happen in June, before the 27th of June, or some maybe early, maybe very early July, early July. That by end of June, I say, if we virtually unheard of, cases will drop so low that it won't even be reported on news anymore. That's my estimate right there. I also estimating that rough estimate. The latest estimate will say by the first week of July. Is the latest estimate there? United States, I estimate with upstate New York, I say by around the first week of July, the state would fully reopen right up like that, and visitors will come in. By that time, visitors will cross the border into Canada, because it's got a native border. But I predict that roughly the whole state of New York will be fully operational by first week of July. Anyway, because Seneca, advertising a big concert in August over at Seneca Casino, so that gives me an idea. That does tell me something right there. That sort of clues my mind, and something gets me. They're advertising that. Well, I estimate by first week of July, the state will be fully open in around the end of the first week of July. Estimating that in New York State. I estimate that United States will all be fully open by then. In New York State, the last little bit will be fully open by July. The Buffalo and all Erie counties, Rock County, that. Estimate by first week of July. I estimating that right there on the U.S. side. I can estimate Canada by end of June. Coronavirus will not be hardly any cases. I predict a sudden drop off, and everything go pretty much back to normal, with some social distancing going into June and August. I think some social distancing will happen in June and August, but the amount of people standing outside to get in the store will be no, but the people distancing inside will play an important role. I say by this time next year, the amount of people social distancing this time next year will be greater than what, still distance regardless. Even when the pandemic cleared over, people are going to practice social distancing for hundreds of years to come. It's going to become something that's totally different to us. It'll be different. Next generation of people, I'd say the next 7 generations of people here are going to be looking this up in history books, or going to a holodeck someplace on some galactic starship, and saying, "Computer, I want to recreate year 2020 with the coronavirus pandemic." They go in there and they literally live the coronavirus pandemic, and they can change figures and parameters and stuff like that. Get it? And what people went through. I can see myself being recreated at the digital image in the holodeck too somehow. I can see what's happening. I can see people, stuff like that. I can see a video game in the future called Corona video game in the future. That's what I do see somebody playing an Xbox holodecks in the future. I sort of mean I could see that in the future, but would it happen? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? The future, what we make it. My future is what I do today. What I do today, or do tomorrow, or do in a month, for years now, always gonna have repercussions in our future. We'll change the future. So and time is like a river, like a current of water flowing. The many branches and many points along that river of time. You flow through that river of time, and everything that flows in that river of time, the coronavirus, part of the river of time, is it takes a branch, it changes the timeline. When I think about it, timeline is changed a bit. Now, timeline is starting to revert back to normal again, but the only reason why, because the universal timeline within the universe was altered by the coronavirus. As a result, the universe had to correct the timeline. So, basically what happened in a drop in cases, the time is correcting itself. And you think about it, the river of time is correcting itself by dropping a number of cases and not having new infections. As a result, time is correcting itself. So that's what I see right now. Having low pressure struck over Atlantic with that storm, that's part of time correcting itself. You know why? Because this actually caused the coronavirus called imbalance in the timeline, big time. So the timeline is trying to correct itself, and once it corrects itself, guess what? Once the time corrected itself, then things will be very much, back to pretty much normal. But time is starting to correct itself, because this should not really happen, but it did, some reason or other. And I believe something went, right now time is correcting itself, and that's what I look at. The time is a river, and each year and each time people done something. In the past, people did stuff to help with in the past, people did stuff to help with the things like in medieval times. That's the time in line right there, where people were tortured, chained out in dungeons for punishment and crime, basically. At the time, with castle social service agency, stuff like that. Then the clergy served a social service agency after medieval, and then after that, the government took that over and served as social service agency. So basically, all three categories served in that area. So basically, that was a timeline right there. Now, there's a timeline within the universe, and then now this timeline, the coronavirus timeline, is a timeline should not happen, because all the people in the past built a very strong economy, and powerful one indeed. A global economy, very strong, very powerful economy indeed, but the timeline of this is very catastrophic in a way that it's really cost a hole in the universe and timeline. So universe universe out there sees this, in there, it's like an infection in the universe, which the universe is now correcting itself. Time is correcting itself in a way. And that's why the infection numbers are dropping. And what can happen when time completely corrects itself? The amount of infection is going to be 0, 0, 0, 0. That's what's going to happen. Coronavirus will be a thing unheard of. But takes time to do so. The universe is not made overnight. You know, the timeline is correcting itself, and I predict with the amount of timeline itself, I predict it will correct itself by June the 17th. The river of time will go back into the normal flow and revert the unheard of. There'll be cases of coronavirus, yes, but very, very few. It might go years without a case after that. Or may go away a few little cases, but that's about it. Blog over.